Regina, Mater misericordiae, vita dulcedo, estes nostra salve.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. When Jesus looked up and saw some wealthy people putting their offerings into the treasury, and he noticed a poor widow putting 2 small coins, he said, "I tell you truly, this poor widow put in more than all the rest. For those others have all made offerings from their surplus wealth. But she, from her poverty, has offered her whole livelihood." The Gospel of the Lord.
Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ.
The saint for today, St. Catherine of Alexandria, is one of my favorites. From the early 4th century, St. Joan of Arc credited locutions from her to guiding her in her battle plans and successful campaigns. She belonged to a family of nobility in Alexandria. She was known to be beautiful and brilliant, a stellar student of philosophy. She was only 18 years old. After a vision of the Blessed Virgin holding the child Christ, she converted immediately to Christianity. And during the persecutions of Maxentius, she publicly rebuked him for his cruelty and oppression. He attempted to debate her, and he found himself humiliated by this 18-year-old's knowledge and wit and articulate speech. So the emperor set up a debate to humiliate her with 50 of the finest philosophers he could find. After speaking with them, they all were converted to Christ. Love it. Maxentius then had all those philosophers burned to death. So they were all martyred, the perfection of their testimony. He placed Catherine in prison, and he went away on an inspection tour of his troops. When he returned, he found that his wife and his elite guard and a number of soldiers found themselves interested in her. And after talking with her while he was away, his wife converted to Christ. So did his elite guard and 200 of his soldiers. Praise you, Jesus. Of course, they were all martyred. And they knew that was coming. Catherine finally was brought to torture on something called the wheel. And the instrument of torture broke while they were trying to torture her. The emperor didn't get the hint. So he had her beheaded. And it's said that angels carried her body away to Sinai, where she was buried, where there now stands the monastery of St. Catherine of Alexandria. She's the patroness of women students, philosophers, and young women. Like Catherine, Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah, they would not compromise. Not to the extent of martyrdom in their case. However, they refused to compromise at the risk of danger. It reveals an element in spirituality that's vital for anyone who wants to advance in coming to deeper union with Christ. The word is called generosity. It's so easy to do just what you have to do to get by. And I hear it often from people, well, if I at least get into purgatory, aim high and you will get high. You will soar to heights. The poor widow, on the other hand, who apparently has nothing to contribute, she reveals generosity in giving all to God. The martyrs excel in this, but the poor widow shows us that those who think they have nothing, and those who even go into the pages of Christians, into obscurity, have still the chance to excel even as the martyrs, the more generous we are in giving ourselves to Christ. And we're assured in the scriptures that our reward will be great in heaven. Although the truth of generosity is not really revealed in repayment, but the truth of generosity is an act of love.
Regina Celi, let our